Hello, everyone. Jennifer Polk here. It is February 23rd, 2026. Can we believe it? We're almost done with February. This is crazy. My dad used to say, as time went on, the days got longer and the years got shorter. His hearing was going, so it's like everything was like slowed down. But yes, that just well, tonight we are on our installment number 4 our from the 7 Habits book. And tonight I'm super excited because we have the amazing executive. Are you 3 or 4? 4. You wish.
I wish I hit three once,
There you go. That's
but I'm
okay.
two. I'm officially a two, so
Awesome. Our Miss Marisa Harrelson, Harrelson. Sorry, I said it
it's all
backwards.
good. It's a lot. It's a lot of name.
It's okay. It is okay. We love it. So, we are covering our fourth habit tonight. And before we get started, I'll bring up my slide deck, but I want to introduce you because we have some new people who don't know you. And I am so blessed and honored that you said yes tonight. And we'll share this for other people. But Marisa and I, gosh, we met. How long have you been with Life Vantage?
14 years, March 28th.
14. Oh, you're getting close to your
Yep.
14 years.
Yep.
And I just remember meeting you for the first time, and you were just like such a um calming spirit to me always.
Ask
Just
my husband. I'm
well,
kidding. I'm kidding.
I know. So, Marisa has a background in journalism, and I want to get all of this correct. I love that you were from Lexington, Kentucky. So a
Hmm.
very different upbringing and she's now currently in Arizona, married to her wonderful husband, Scott. We got to spend some time with him on the Alaska cruise. They have two wonderful children. One's on the East Coast and one's on the West Coast. That is just, I'm like, oh,
And we were
today.
FaceTiming them both before this call. They called, my daughter called, so I'm like, I'm going to answer it. I had a few minutes. So the snow in New York, and then my son in LA.
I love that. And she's a yoga instructor and health and wellness, everything. Her career, like her driving force is really, she's very grounded spiritually. And I just adore you. So, without further ado, I'd love for you to share your short story and then we will get on with the training because I'm so excited for it.
Oh,
So,
Jennifer, I just thank you so much for all the years that we have connected and, seen each other, not seen each other as much, seen each other, and then recently been able to do this training together, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which is just such a beautiful way, you all, of just doing life and being more conscientious in everything that we do in our life. And I probably could have had a better handle on the way I handled my husband today with a little miscommunication we had that Jennifer got to witness. So shame on me. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. So you guys, I have been with LifeVantage 14 years. I was not looking for this. I've never done network marketing. Um, and but I've always been into health and wellness. I, grew up in a household that was loving and also dysfunctional. And so my mindset around money was that God, it would be so lucky. I would be so lucky if I had it. Like, how can I get more money? Isn't that crazy? And it wasn't about the money, it was about the choices in life. And I grew up hearing my mom just like, it was almost like the mantra, money is the root of all evil. It was horrible, to be honest with you. So, anyway, fast forward, I've always had beautiful work ethic. I've worked since I was a child, from scooping ice cream, Baskin Robbins, to working in television news. And I went to University of Arizona, and I've always been on a path for personal growth and development. I always knew there was something bigger and better for me. And even though I worked in TV news, you guys, it was a hard business. And I never really made a ton of money in it. And I worked in the industry almost 20 years. I never hit six figures in it, but I've been out of it for 20 years. But I should have been making six figures for what I was giving at the time. And when my children were born, I was a late mom, late bloomer with having children. I was 38 and 41 when I had my kids. I wanted to be home with them. And so I ended up being home with them. It was very scary to go from two full-time incomes to one. I felt really weird because my mom had always taught us to be able to make it on your own. Do not rely on somebody they were very smart in that respect. So anyway, I did little odd jobs, freelance here and there, but it was at yoga. I've been teaching for over 15 years. I love yoga. And I overheard a conversation 7 months after my mom died, and I was so intrigued by what I heard, and it all pointed to the ABC primetime, and that I ended up watching. And Carrie Williams was my yoga student. I should be officially under her, but I'm not, because right when I was getting ready to sign up under her, something went, is this what my sister-in-law is trying to tell me? A week prior, she had just joined. But the lesson here is don't buy box, a business in a box for anybody. Let them buy it for themselves because they won't cherish it. And this was a calling for me. When I saw this and I had to put that pack on a credit card and pay it off, and told my husband I'll pay it off in 6 weeks. I said a month. I think it took me 6 weeks. And he was fine with that. But literally, when I saw this and I met with Carrie Williams and she trained me, she ended up being in her same lineage. Just she's several up above me, but she never treated me like I was not personally enrolled by her. And I learned from Maria Williams and Carrie Williams, and they're both one of my best friends. And they helped me grow. And I can't believe I'm doing this, but I couldn't believe, like, I saw that earnings income disclosure, you guys, and I was like, oh my God, can I could only learn. I mean, I saw the six figures for an executive, and then I went in my head, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy of that. And that is what Life Vantage will help you get past that. If you plug in, you stay consistent, you attend events, and you do all the things, which I did. I was a very good student because I had a burning desire. It wasn't even about my why. It was about the calling. Yes, it was about the why. There were many different things, and that's always evolved over the years. And you have to always evolve that why. But it really is what Bob Heilig, he's a big trainer in network marketing. Jennifer, of course, works with him too. He will he talks about the calling. Well, guess what? The other day, I have to tell you this, and then I'll stop sharing my story, because this has been such a beautiful highlight in my life. The community, the culture, the people, the growth, the traveling, all the things, the highs, the lows, the highs, the lows, the highs, the lows. The emotions, sometimes feeling like you want to quit. I never really felt like I would quit. But I know why people do. And I just like, why would you though? Because what are your alternatives, and to be healthier, and also be able to bless people and to grow and expanding who we are and expanding our network. That's what takes skill, is expanding the network, learning how to get outside of your bubble comfort zone to actually become the professional connector. And that's really what you have to do in network marketing. But I want to share something with you, because I shared it with Tanya Sheldon the other day, because we talk a lot. Tanya is an executive leader, as probably many of you know. So I sent her a picture. I literally was leaving for Sedona to go. Oh, come on, where is it? I was literally leaving for Sedona.
And if
Oh
you
my
can't
God.
find it, you can share. I'll share it with the group after too.
Okay, but it was a quote. It
Uh-huh.
was a quote from a woman who's a big entrepreneur, and it was basically talking about the calling. I literally was grabbing a LifeVantage book to give to a new consultant, any book off my shelf to see if I had written in it or not, because I have a lot that I haven't. And I grabbed this one, I opened it up, and it's a quote from this Sandra Yancey, and it was about, I don't help people who build dreams, I help people who have a calling. That was the gist of it. So, because people quit on their dreams, but they don't quit on their calling. So just that's all I want to say. And now I'm gonna send it over to
Love
Jennifer.
that.
Yeah.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yes, I love that. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And we'll get started and we'll run through. I know people have calls right after this, including myself.
Oh,
So,
wow. That's a lot of calls in one night.
yes, it's all good. It is all good. So, tonight we're going to talk about our fourth habit, think win-win. And what I love about this particular habit is this goes from our being dependent to independent. And then we go to interdependent. And this is where we get to work together. And I love that. I love that. I love that. And this is all about the principle of abundance. And I couldn't have had anyone better to help talk about this think win win than Marisa, because you are about abundance ever since I've met you.
Oh,
And we got
thank
to
you.
sit next to each other during the training too. And you gave me that sweet card, and I was like, oh, I still have it.
I
So
always say abundance is a birthright.
yeah, oh, I love that. Yes. So habit 4, this one is about approaching each situation looking for ways that everyone can win. And this reminded, well, I'll talk about it a little bit more. Win-win is a frame of mind and a heart that constantly seeks mutual benefit in all human interactions. And that is what I love. It's like every time I have an interaction, I'm like, okay, how can we think win-win? Okay. So
Mhm.
anything else, Marisa, on that one?
Well, it's really about believing that it is abundance is available for all of us. Okay. It's easy to go into comparison. It's easy to go
Mhm.
to be controlling. Um, to want like for network marketing, wanting people to build our way or move at a certain speed, or they're not prioritizing their goals. It's easy to get like that, and because we all want growth, but really it requires like patience, and it's letting leaders rise. Like what I was giving Jennifer an example today, somebody like maybe doesn't want to do it the way you do it. They want to do it their own way. And in many times we've been told, oh, well, they're not coachable, they're not teachable, they're not a good student. And you got to follow the system. Yes, granted, there is a certain system, but there are different ways people build this. So it's really about you know looking at what's best for long term, praising those, like, okay, it may not be my way, but you know what? That's okay. Bless their autonomy. Bless
Yeah.
that they want to do this and they're ready to go. And like they could offer something that you could only have dreamt about, to be honest with you. So encourage them to do that, because what will happen a lot of times is people, if they do stray off, which is fine because there's different ways people are building today. It's not so cookie cutter like it used to be.
Mhm.
And but if things don't work, sometimes they circle back around. I've seen that happen.
Yep.
So what is
Yeah.
really important is to celebrate wins.
Mhm.
Really celebrate and recognize people that are getting started right out the gate. And yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely. And from our book, we talk about when we were talking about paradigm. So going back to the beginning, paradigm is like I have these glasses on and I see my world through my glasses. And if I put somebody else's glasses on, how would I see the world? Very differently. And this is really like taking time to like sit down and go, I wonder how somebody else could see that, right? So the common paradigm is the more you get, the less there is for me, versus the highly effective paradigm. There's more than enough for everyone, just like Marisa was saying.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you want to talk about that the next?
Well, it's just, that if we come from that scarcity mindset, it just doesn't serve anybody well. So it's really just about having patience with people, seeing people, understanding people. And this is where all these habits intertwine with each other. Like, seek to understand before being understood, which you'll hear about later. But they all build on each other. And it's about you take the first habit is being proactive as opposed to reactive because you can see where you would be reactive here, could be reactive. And we just don't want to do that. I mean, this it'll refine you. It'll refine who you are by
Yeah.
seeking to understand and also by just seeking to win. We all want to win, and
Right.
everybody's opinion matters.
Right. Exactly. And I loved what the training taught us here. It's like you want to balance courage with consideration. And courage is the willingness to speak our thoughts and feelings, even when it's hard. And consideration is the willingness to listen. So speak and listen
Mm-hmm.
others' thoughts and feelings, even when it's hard. And for those of us that are married or have significant others or people that live with us, it's like, it's like, well, of course you should see it that way, right? Of course. And then it's like, no, it is not, of course. And I loved the essence of this win-win is right. You want to balance, like tell it like it is and be kind.
Because then you build strong, confident, and independent people.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we don't want people looking all like us ever. And that's something with Life Vantage. I love scripts, but then I love because for me and how I learn, I'm like, okay, give me a script so I kind of know how to say it or what to say, and then I will take it and make it Jennifer, right? And I'm like, because I know there's people that don't like scripts, but I'm like, please give me a script for something because then that gives me an idea. So
Hmm.
here's some great things. Anything else on this one?
I
This
think
line?
that's good. I really do. We're just not clones, you know?
No, right. Hmm. And so this is the paradigms of human interaction. So I love this one too because our paradigms affect how we interact with others. Each of these paradigms balance courage and consideration differently. I One of my hats that I wore, I went to school to be a divorce and child custody mediator, and I was the only one that came from a social services side versus an attorney side. And it was so interesting to me because attorneys, all the ones that I knew, it was always win lose.
Hmm.
Versus my social services background was win win. And I thought it helped me a lot coming from a win win type of mentality, a partnership when I did mediation versus win lose. So,
Hmm.
yes, yes, yes.
Because when it's all these different personalities involved and there's not, a connection, how like wanting to interact, then you have chaos, right? And nothing gets done. And we had a little example of that during the training, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Yes.
And we can share that, right? So,
Yeah. Yes, it would be during this time. Absolutely. So here, I can stop share for just a second. I'll take this down and we can share this. So go ahead, Marisa. Do you
well,
want
it
me?
was about a marshmallow factory that made marshmallows, and there was a really bad batch. And I forget, Jennifer, like exactly, but it was like it melted or it just the
Yes.
temperature and the in transport. And so the blame, there was all these people, like there's the engineer of it, there's the human resources director, there's the shipping person, and then there's I don't know, who was the doormat? So it's the doormat, the person that,
Una. That was Lacey. Lacey
right.
Mills
But
was
she would
Una.
be like, she was just somebody just didn't ever want to have any kind of conflict, right? And
Hmm.
always tried to seek win-win in a not so, yeah, go ahead.
So what so we had in our book, you could only read your particular person who you were, and it told you, as you prepare for the meeting, you anticipate conflict. Your goal is to maintain a win-win paradigm. This is who I was, and try to solve the problem. But what we didn't know is the other people, each one of the people had either win lose, lose win, or lose lose. And it was really hard to communicate with everyone, as because we all had our own agendas,
Right.
and it was
Yeah.
very frustrating
It
with.
was hysterical, but
Mhm.
it's probably what happens a lot in corporate America
Yeah,
and can happen and when you don't understand people and teams. So bottom line is um God, I forget even how it ended, but they found the reason. I can't even remember it now.
it was hilarious. We were dying laughing because it was so frustrating. We just wanted to quit. Here, let me get back over here to our laugh. It was not good. It was not good. I will tell you that. So,
Anyway,
yes. Okay, let me get back over here. Da, da, da,
yeah, I
da.
was the lead chemist who said, I'm going to take the recipes away. I'm going to leave. I'm going to quit. All the things, very defensive. And so we know that being defensive, that's something that we want to really be careful about. And I know I have a defensive nature. I'm the youngest of five kids. And I think that's kind of just stayed with me in my DNA. And I really have to work on not being defensive.
Right? It's like, oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm having an issue getting back in here. There we go. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay. So now we're going to another tip that could help us get through a win-win. Here's something that you can do. You can consider the others' wins. So think through a situation that you're in right now, and you may not have fully considered what the other person
Mm-hmm.
needs, or fully, or considered what you need, right, for it to be a win-win. So take the situation, write it out, and what does a win look for like each of you? And then and that's what we did. We took time, we wrote down a situation. Um, Mine was a situation where somebody was not engaging, right? And it's like, okay, what does a win look for each of you? What pressure are each of you facing, and what are possible hidden consequences or impact?
Mm-hmm.
And it was truly eye-opening when I took the time to write down, trying to see it from that person's perspective. And what it did for me is it made me a lot more um not generous, that wouldn't be the right word, but I was like, gosh, this person has a lot going on in their lives, and it just was like, let me just step back, and maybe they just needed to meet for me to be saying, it's okay, there's a lot going on in your life right now. Step back, and if I can help you, let me know. Marisa, what?
Yeah, so I did a personal thing, and then I also did a consultant who is struggling for a long time and been in the business for years, and sometimes it's a lot, um, and the energy is very low and negative, and she came over to my house, and I just listened to her, and I had her come over, and I didn't coach. I didn't coach. I just listened and I supported her. I did give her some ideas, but it was really just about me listening. And oh my gosh, everything changed. The energy changed. She felt listened to. She felt grateful. It was like, wow. And I think if I tried to, you're doing this or that and you need to do this and that, it wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have worked. And then another thing I think that we can all relate to as you guys, as you're building your businesses is, you know, volume end of the month. You might be close to a rank advancement. And sometimes that can really feel pushy, right? It's easy to shift into that needing something from somebody else. And that isn't win-win. And
Mm-mm.
so, we have to look at what's building long term, what is something that's going to benefit the entire team? And the hardest thing for us network marketers when those opportunities come, not to say you shouldn't keep going for it, but it's a little bit of a push pull, and it sometimes just means, huh, hands up, releasing control.
Yeah, right.
Right. And
Totally.
because the goal here, you guys, is mutual growth. We are only as successful as the people we help.
Yep.
So I think seeking win-win isn't, it's about our entire team. Okay.
Yes, 100%. And sometimes people have told you, "Hey, I wanted to get going," and then you don't see the orders going through. At the end of the month, a lot of times I will call somebody and say, "Hey, back, at the 15th of the month, you said that you wanted to get going. I hadn't seen a order go through. If you're still wanting to, I'm close to a goal, but that's not about me, but because it's end of the month and I'm trying to reach a goal, if I, gifted you back, 10%, if you don't have a coupon or whatever, would that make sense for you to get started right now?" And then that's a win-win, because if they wanted to get going anyways and they're like, "Oh yeah, I forgot," or whatever, right? The link broke, or there's things that happen all the time. And then
Mm-hmm.
that is a win-win, because that helps
It
them, because they're paying less money and it helps you. So that's just something I use for that.
Yes, I love that.
So again, win-win is achieved through the process. We are now prepared to be more fully examined in habits 5 and 6, which 5 is seek first to understand, then to be understood, and then synergize. So those two are coming soon. And then I know it's 57, so we got 3 more minutes. So this is kind of just to go over everything again. Um, Habit 4 is all about abundance. It's about looking for opportunities for everyone to benefit. There are more of these opportunities than we even remotely realize. So when we see through the glasses, our paradigm, there's more than enough for everyone, then we do the practices, balancing courage and consideration, and considering the other people's wins as well as our own, because you don't want to be a doormat. Then we get results. Those are rich and rewarding relationships, strong partnerships, and then you have that generosity of spirit. What else would you like to
Oh my
add?
gosh, I think that's like that. I think that sums it up really well. And it's just about listening to people and
Yeah.
having that human connection,
Hmm.
because with this trust recession,
Yeah.
that can also be felt among teams. So it's really about connecting with each other, and really just having those conversations that sometimes might be hard,
Yeah.
but listening
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not always providing a solution, just providing support.
Yeah. Amen. Right. Yeah. So thank you, everyone. Next week, we have another guest. Jatasha Harris will be sharing with me seek first to understand and then to be understood. I'm going to stop the
She's
recording.
fantastic.
Oh, I
Jatasha from Love Biome.